Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Judge Desire for Knowledge Legal Matters. So, I actually put this show on every month, once a month for legal matters on issues dealing with court procedures. And so, it's that time. It's the end of the month. So, I decided let me just, these glasses are really cool. I don't want to take them off. Let me just actually get this finished. I'm away from home enjoying my anniversary with my husband. And so we're here. And I figured let me tape it now because I'm not going to be spending the rest of my day or week. I'm again. I'm on vacation. I'm traveling. I'm living my life right now. And so I figured I would come to you with this court etiquette topic on fumbling in the courtroom and things that we do that we should not. It's what not to do in a courtroom. So basically, I figured this will be the next legal matter because people do not know how to adjust themselves when they do come to a courtroom. So I figured, let me be the one to tell them how, because a lot of people come in and they actually don't realize that they're not doing actually what they should be in order to get your case resolved in a good professionally manner, or so many other things that go wrong because you weren't prepared for it. And that's understandable. If you don't have an attorney or you do have an attorney, eventually you'll have to appear to the court, whether you were brought in or you filed your own petition in court. Or your adversary brought you into court or in a criminal matter if you were taken, arrested, and brought into the court. Either way, these things are really required of people that do not know the basics. So I'll start with these are actually codes of do's and not to do's in courtroom, to do nots. Okay, so do not be late for your court proceeding. That's one of drastic thing for a judge on his calendar to come in late, and tardiness. Judges do not like that. They do not like tardiness. However, they do based on their calendar. And if you're on the morning calendar or afternoon calendar, let's say you're on the morning calendar, they will call the people, and it's not alphabeticalized, it's sorted out by the system, the computer generated calendar time and dates. Once your date was put into a calendar, then your name will come up with other people's names, and that's how you get the number. So let's say you're number 1 on the calendar. It's 9 a.m. when the courtroom opens and you're not there. So now you're not going to be called until all the other people, it could be 40, 50, depending on how big the courthouse is, or how many cases they have on that calendar, I should say. Based on that, will determine whether you're a no-show or not, because after all of those people, no matter what time you come to court, if you were called before your before you got there, you're going to be called one more time after everyone is called off the calendar. So don't come in and tell the court officers, oh, I was called already, so I need to. Nope, you need to have a seat and wait for your name to be called again. Now, if you come, they'll let you know if you were called twice so you don't go into default, because you are mandated to be called 2 times. That doesn't mean, one time after the original. That does not mean that, I'm going to get there. When I get there, the judge can wait for me, because that's not happening. This is your case, whether you put it in the court or not, and you're going to want to be there, okay? Because going default means that you lost no matter what. There's other procedures if you go default, but that's not what we're talking about today. I will bring that up in another subject on my Legal Matters monthly show. And whatever you do, like I said, if it's the afternoon calendar and you're late, you're considered a no-show after the second calling, okay? So now We move on to refrain from using street language and communicating in the courtroom. Basically, you don't have to make a point when you don't make a point when you're cursing. So, or use street lingo. So basically, try to use as best as you can. No one's English is perfected, but leave the streets in the streets and try to get professional in the courtroom at least, or hire an attorney to do so for you because you fumble your own case. You're not going to yell at the judge or curse a judge and think that you're going to be given a pat on the back for it. So believe me, I've seen many things happen in the courtroom that you wouldn't even understand. I'm sure they have movies on it, shows about it now, but some of that really actually happens. And some, I think they have a show called True Court or something. But this really happens in the courthouse. This is sugary. Okay, so based on that, the street lingo and all of that, it's better that you communicate well. If you speak a different language, then you request a court interpreter. They have hundreds of, at least 52 different languages. Some would need to be adjourned the case because, like Hindu, I've heard other words of dialects of Africans and stuff like that. Those need to be, Japanese, need to be ordered ahead of the court date. Spanish and some Mandarin, I believe in Cantonese, I think that's how you say it. There, normally we will have those on hand, but if not, definitely Spanish is always on hand interpreter. But the other languages need to be told ahead of time that an interpreter is needed because this is something that you're going to want to understand the judge telling you when you're in court. So that's the only other kind of communication other than the one I was stating about how people come in and they start cursing the judge. You're not going to actually be effective in that. I've seen a lot where they tell the judge what they're going to do and this and that, and actually you're now not only harassing or threatening a judge, a court official, but it's stupidity. You're not going to get far with that. Most people get arrested there and don't go home that day. But otherwise, it's pointless to utilize a bad language and keep your lingo in the streets, your gang swanging or banging in the streets, and not in a professional place as the court. Keep your ghetto in your ghetto, or whatever you want to call it, the ghetto in the ghetto, or whatever is considered, but do not, warning, bring it in the courthouse, because this does not help your case. If you want it to be helped and you cannot help yourself without cursing, then please hire an attorney to straighten that out for you so that you can have your case pushed forward and in a correct manner and not dismissed on the spot. Okay, because that can lead to your arrest if it's a criminal case, and that you will stay in prison or be imprisoned. And if it's a civil case, you can be sued. Your lawsuit could be dismissed if you would put one before it. It will not get you dismissed out of a lawsuit that someone else brings before you. So do not curse and come there angry. Be an adult. Take it in stride. You need help, you talk to us. The clerks, the court officers, you talk to us, and we will help you with what we can. We're not attorneys, but you can ask us questions. That's what we're there for. And what your next procedure will be. What is the next step? As I said, there's interpreters for every language. The languages that are more prevalent, Spanish is there every day. Also, if you come into the courtroom, please do not come in with your own theology, legal theology of what you believe the law is, unless you're an attorney. Or actually, please do some research, because I've heard people who said they're sovereigns. They come in, and these guys or ladies, well, mostly I had to deal with men, they didn't know what they were saying, rambling in legal terms that didn't go together. They didn't equate. And I'm looking at them and, it's embarrassing. It's just If you don't know what you're talking about, be quiet and silence yourself in the court. Like order in the court. I have my gavel, but I'm away, so I'm gonna start using that gavel for my legal matters. But either way, yeah, we see it a lot out there, and again, your case could be dismissed, thrown out with no merit and stuff like that because you're bringing stuff that doesn't exist to a court, to a judge who studied, who was an attorney first before they became a judge, and unless you can put it together and prove it, prove your case, do not bring your own legalese in there. All right, because it doesn't help. Keep the jumbo mumbo at home. Hire an attorney if needed and let them do the speaking for you, especially if you don't have any idea of what you're talking about, or if you feel you do, because a majority of people do come in figuring they do. And we've had law students that were pretty good and some were not. So it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. You just got to know the procedures. It's not all about the law. It's how you bring them together in court to get your case fulfilled to what you need it to be. Okay, whatever the case is, I'm generalizing because there's many cases that come before us, and depending on which courthouse you're in, family court, civil court, criminal court, surrogates court, there's so many, and then there's lower civil, which has housing and all kinds of things, tenant landlord court. So it depends on where you're at. Okay, you would know that, not me. And as I had in my other videos, which is really important as well, this isn't a part of etiquette, but you need to know which courthouse you're supposed to go. The venue is very important. I always say that. Read what you sign. Anything you're signing, please read. I do it occasionally no matter where I go. It doesn't have to be a courtroom. You could be signing over your home, your apartment, your life, your freedom. You don't even know because you're not looking at the paperwork. So how would you know? I mean, we all talk mess all day about how we're enslaved and how we're this and how we're that, and we're used by corporate, government, or whatever. But are we reading the documents that we're given? That right there tells me enough that I'm not about talk. I'm a doer, and I'd rather do what I'm supposed to do. So I want a lot of people that no matter where it is, if you're in a clinic, the courthouse, or wherever it is to sign a document, please read what you're signing ahead of time, and do not for any instant allow something that you don't understand go past you and you sign. Just ask the questions. They won't be able to be your attorney for you, but they'll be able to decipher exactly what it is that you might want to ask about the document. All right. Then, as I said, don't lie to the judge as well. It's not worth lying in court of law. First, you're taking an oath. Yes, we know people do it, but the judge is actually a truth finder and skilled and very skilled and trained at it. So be careful because you can get embarrassed there. I've seen things happen where it got twisted around, whether you have a jury or non-jury. Non-jury is the judge. A jury is your peers, okay, that are called in for jury duty. And basically, people, society, the public. What I'm trying to say here is that when you do come in and you lie, whether it's a non-jury trial or not, it will come out eventually. So just go with it. If you have nothing to say, then don't say anything. It's better than lying, okay? Because lying under oath is very bad in the court of law, and they'll explain that to you when you go in your case, or whatever the case may be, or whatever is going on in your life. But another issue here is, please do not dress inappropriately, especially around the summertime. We get to see all these people scantily dressed. That's nice. It's hot outside. We do have air conditioning in the courthouses. So, and it's inappropriate to come to a courthouse outside of business attire. And let's say you don't have business attire, then you have casual attire, but we don't mean laid back pajamas or your sleepwear, either lingerie. Men, do not come in wearing your pants off of your behind. Um, Please, we have sent people out as soon as they come in. Okay, you're not going to be allowed in the courtroom. The court officers are not going to allow you in. And if you are allowed in, because it's important, like a criminal case, we're going to give you a belt or tell you to pull up your pants. Okay, and please, hats off in the courtroom. You don't want to wear your hat off in the lobby. Well, you don't have to, but once you get into the courtroom, all hats are off for the gentlemen. Okay, and also, t-shirts are not allowed, young men. Okay, gang t-shirts too. Um, T-shirts. Well, you don't have to wear a tie and a shirt, but remember, this is your case. You want to be presentable. You want to make sure that the judge sees you as a decent person. Yes, we're not here to judge, but it does help. The court is impartial. It's supposed to be, but you got to have respect for yourself and the court at the same time. If you can't respect yourself, then how do you expect to be respected by the court, the judge, and its peers? You won't. Ladies, please, no cleavage showing. This is not the beach where you wear your bikinis and stuff. So no cleavage, no hot pants or shorts or short skirts are allowed, or see-through clothing. That's not going to help advance your case. It actually not distracts it, but it's disgusting. You don't even know the things that are said after the fact. People just can't understand that you need to dress appropriate for your case. This is your case, or it's brought against you, or you brought it to court. Like I said, either way, you are part of it, and you want to give off the best that you can of yourself. I mean, it's you. I mean, is that how you want to give yourself to people, that you don't care for yourself? It doesn't matter. And so, boom, this is who I am. Well, that's not good. So I hope that's not how you think matters. So those mindsets usually never win. And then you find out why you're always in the courthouse, because I've seen people repeatedly come. It's back and forth monthly, every 2 months, every 6 months. And these are those people, the same ones that we're talking about. This is why we have court etiquette, which I call it, fumbles in the courtroom. These are things we do not do. And that's the reason why. It's for your benefit, not mine, because I know how to act in the court of law, outside the court of law, and be a professional when needed. Keep the streets in the streets. Keep your lingo in the streets. You got every right to speak any manner and form you want to. Just don't do it in a professional setting. It doesn't look good. It's like, for instance, I've had where my judge had to ask me, what is going on? I said, this is street lingo, because the guy kept going, you feeling me? You feeling me? You feel me? And we had to tell him to stop. It's like he had no, not making fun of people in the street, that their lingo and all that. That's nice. Keep that in the street, though. We don't appreciate it in the courthouse. We wanted to know why he kept feeling the judge. We started laughing when he left, because of course we're not going to laugh in his face, but the judge was like, no, I'm not feeling you, and I don't want you to feel me right now either. And we all got a kick out of that, including the defendant. And so, these are the things that you don't want to be laughed at. It's not a joke to us, but, for you, especially for yourself. I mean, if you think of yourself, then you would know the steps that I just told you to do is going to be working in your favor. All right. Also, the lesson here would be definitely, and I wrote this down, that this is your case. All right. And either you brought it to court or your adversary did, right? But it's still your case. And I was just saying that. And in order to win and beat the case, it's up to you. And you want to give it your best shot. So your best shot is having court etiquette, applying it, utilizing it. When you go outside the courtroom, we really don't care what you do except for breaking the law. But how you want to dress, how you want to talk, how you want to eat, that's fine. But when you come to places like a courthouse or any agency, have some respect for the workers. We'll have respect for you because we're trained to do so. Anyone that has not had respect for someone, you can always speak to their boss, supervisor, but please, we're tired of the false because you didn't get your answer. You're going to a supervisor or something because I've seen this happen to other coworkers and then blaming them. That's not going to work. We're civil service workers. We've taken an exam. We're not going to get fired easy like that. So, and no, we don't work for the city. So you don't pay our taxes either. To work. You don't own us, we don't own you. Just come in there with your free will, with your heads up high, and get your case taken care of so that we don't have to see you again and you don't have to see us again. And it works both ways. We're always going to see someone because people always make mistakes, but we're trying to help you guys out. At least I am with this show, my Legal Matter Monthly show, so that you'll know how to adjust yourself professionally if you haven't gotten the training to do so in the court of law. All right. So there we have it. It's like going to an interview and to be looked at or even judged by your appearance is exactly somewhat way of how you're going to be looked at in the courthouse. All right. If that makes sense. All right, so I'm so glad that you all joined me. This is taped. I couldn't do it live. Legal Matters is usually taped because it's a lot more to put into than my live show, Know Your Truth, Real Talk, which is on every Saturday at 3 o'clock on YouTube. And again, Legal Matters, it's monthly, every fourth week of the month. I will upload this tape in the next day or so, but it'll be done before December. So this is November's criteria, topic being court etiquette and the fumbles done in the courtroom, and what to do and what not to do in the courthouse. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night, my day, or what's left of it. And I'm away and enjoying life. Thank you. Ciao. I almost forgot. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave comments in the comment box below. So this way I'll know of on any future topics you want to hear about regarding legal matters, and also any topics you'd like to know on my other show, Know Your Truth, Real Talk. I have a lot of topics going on there. That's every week, every Saturday, God willingly, at 3 o'clock. All right, now, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Ciao.